going to test this theory and see if me looking into the lens allows me to just speak to the camera and not look at myself. So hopefully talking to this circle lens right here shows you that I'm actually talking to you. So I'm coming up with this new idea to do my vlogs, but the way I want to tell the story, this is the way I want to tell the story. I want it to be like you're in my head. I want you, when I wake up, you wake up. When I talk, it's like you're on a roller coaster ride in my subconscious. And I think that's a great way to tell the story, because I was trying to think of Kelly Stams, right? Like, she right now is like on the pedestal of how to do great YouTube videos. For example, I'm looking up, why am I doing this? I think she's refreshing, she's different, but she also puts a lot of effort and energy into her videos to do skits. And I honestly, this is like the biggest difference. I'm not Kelly Stams. I do not like to put effort into skits to tell my story. This is why it's so important to be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. But that's okay. I think it works, and if you're willing to basically be the director, writer, actor, screenwriter, all of it, it will obviously pay off like it has for her. But I also think it's important to acknowledge that there's different ways to tell a story, and I'm really about like the easiest way, the most impactful way, basically the way that allows people to still be tuned in. And I was watching Netflix, I watched a video, someone was giving us tips on how to have longer watch time. And the person said, watch Netflix, just watch Netflix, because when you watch Netflix, it makes sense. Like, you stay tuned in, you don't really click out, you go through the whole watch time, the duration of the film. You go through the whole duration of the film. And I realized, while I was watching it, and then I got the idea to just basically speak to you all as if you're in my mind. It's subconscious. So I can vlog, but I can also give you like real-time commentary, like what were we doing right there? What's going on? I can basically lay over a track where I give my real thoughts on what happened. Like right now, I'm giving my real thoughts about the amount of times I use my hands to speak. And I think it will be a different experience. And I can also, cut and put in scenes where I'm actually talking to the camera, or I'm giving you my 2 cents, or I want to show you in real time what happens when I recorded that moment. But for the majority, I think that would be super funny. And I just think it's a different way to tell a story. I feel like it's been done, but I don't think it's been done in the vlog style. Like, the way that I'm thinking about it, it's like you go on the vlog with me, you wake up, and we go outside, and we see 2 cats, look at each other. I can record that moment, and then when I'm editing and doing the voiceover, I can say, wow, it would have been great if Santos had been there. Those could have been his friends, but I guess not. I can also talk in the third person, or I could talk in the first person. So I could say, these cats are really about to fight right now. This is ridiculous. Or I could say, these cats would have been great friends with Santos. Like, it's different. It just really all depends on how I want to tell the story, and I love it. And I think it's a great way. The method, the idea is great. It's just the execution that's important. Because I can go into that closet, come out, and put on a show. But will it be a hit? I don't know. I don't think I have that persona to do the skits, but I do have the persona to tell the story via voice, and audio. So that's what I want to do. I feel like everyone's trying to be a YouTuber, and it's just like, am I really trying to be a YouTuber? I need to be finding a job. It's hard out here. It's hard out here to find a job. It's just like insane. It's insane. The journey. And I'll talk about it eventually. I'll talk about like my move to New York City, why I did it, what my first year was really like. I'm currently at the end of my second year in New York, and I just cannot believe it. Where did the 2 years go? What happens? Like, the first year is so different than the second year compared to the second year. And then the third year will start in July. That's my anniversary month, July. So I just think about the year 3 and I'm like, I want to level up, y'all. It's time to level up. Like, we cannot be stagnant. Because at this point, it's like I came to New York for a vacation, and it's been a long, drawn out vacation. And you know, it's important, like, when you move somewhere to have goals and then hopefully work towards something. And then if you change your mind, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to move. We're not trees. We don't have to stay where we're planted. We can uproot and leave and live. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I have been given to come to New York. And I just can't wait to share the story when I understand kind of exactly why I went through what I went through and I met the people that I did. A big thing has been budgeting. I probably should do a video on like budgeting in New York, how to budget, how not to budget, how I really budget. Also friendships, like making new friends, keeping friends, saying goodbye to friends. Honestly, saying goodbye for me is just not texting, not reaching out. You can tell who really wants to be your friend based on like the frequency of, you know, just how are you doing, simple things, little things, checking in, just checking up on you. What else? Food. I definitely went through when it came to food. It's really expensive out here, but there are cheap options like your local bodegas, you know, the bacon, egg and cheese, bagels. I get an everything bagel, and then egg, and then hot sauce with jalapenos. So good. You gotta try it. I love it. And it's not that expensive at all. And I'm really cool with like the people at the local markets, so it's not like they give me a discount, but it's good energy. Like, I always have a great time, a great experience. What else? So moving here, budgeting, friendships. I think having fun, learning how to have fun. Like, how do I know where to go, what events, what's happening? I'm definitely gonna make a video on that because I have a lot of experience in that. What else could I talk about? I could talk about apartment searching. I got really lucky, so I didn't really have to search. But I got really lucky, so that's awesome. But I could help y'all. I can let you know what websites are great. I could talk about my thrifting experiences, which I love to do. I love to thrift. I could show you my best thrifted finds. I could introduce you to Santos the cat. He's not my cat. I'm like the aunt, but he's awesome. His TikTok, he's at 7,000 followers, 7,100. I helped grow it during the pandemic. So I can tell you how that worked and how that happened. What else can I talk about? I could do reviews. I love to watch Netflix, HBO. I could talk about my experiences with men and boys. Hasn't been a lot of experiences, but I could talk about it. I could talk about how I decided to get an iPhone and what that experience was like, and how getting an iPhone has changed my life. Not in a major way, but in a technological way. I can talk about my thoughts on women and the standards of beauty, and to like basically always have the next best pick ready to go. I can talk about women bonds. I could talk about my friendships. I could talk about my pursuit to working out and actually hitting my goals, and you know, what do I actually want and why do I reach for different food products. I could talk about not really understanding how food really influences how you live. What else can I talk about? I can talk about some of my favorite places that I've visited in New York City. I can talk about my past experiences living in Los Angeles. I can talk about the trips I've taken abroad. I can talk about how I found some of the best opportunities I've ever taken in my life. I can talk about my hopes, my dreams, my desires. I can talk about how things never go exactly as planned. I can talk about just everyday life. Because I realized I'm a very boring person, and I own it. I'm a very boring person. I consider myself an extroverted introvert, and I realize that I feed off of other people's energy. So if I meet someone who's like a breath of fresh air or just has a lot of energy, I'm honestly super attracted in getting to know the person, and I find them super interesting. I can talk about basically first impressions and how to kind of make sure the person knows that you're interested in them, and that the conversation is long and not short. Because I can do small talk, but I don't like small talk. I actually don't want to do small talk. If I meet you, I want to get to know you. I want to go deep. I want to figure out like what makes you tick. I want to figure out what you're interested in. Like, I get excited when I think about people. I love people. I love talking to people. It's always been my thing. Like, I can talk to strangers like nothing. Maybe I should work for the FBI, because I can just get people to spill when I don't even ask them questions, and they just let me know. I don't know if it's me, like there's something about me. They're like, you're just so easy to talk to. I want to just tell you XYZ. But people, it's very important. I had to learn. I realized early in life, I consider like the first 25 years of your life, the early years of your life, I learned that friendships, relationships just in general make you rich. Like, relationships make you rich. That's how I feel. I can talk about my books, the self-help books I've read, and what I think about them at my journey after college, and like just trying to find a book that would save me, and realizing like I have to save me. I have to make big decisions. I have to like take big leaps that seem like small steps. I can talk about what it's like supporting friends when you feel like you're not really moving forward, but the people around you are. And I can talk about what it's like to be the hot mess friend who seems to not have her ish together, but is actively trying to get it together. I could talk about my experience working in luxury retail. I could talk about my experience trying to go corporate and failing. I can talk about the amount of rejection I've received in the job search. I can talk about landing a startup position job, but it's an independent contractor position. So realizing, I wanted more. So what did that look like? What did that entail? I can talk about supporting Black-owned businesses in Brooklyn on Juneteenth. There's just so many things to talk about, but I feel like when I said I'm a boring person, it's because I really am stimulated by my surroundings, my environment. I feel like the way I look at people, the way I interact with art, the way I dance, like those are all stories. But me by myself, I don't feel like there's much to say, but there is. Like, everyone is unique and different, and I can talk about. I just realized like I lost a good friend during COVID-19, the pandemic, which is still going on, and the realization that like life is really short. So if there are fears or things that are preventing you from putting yourself out there, not necessarily in front of the camera, but maybe speaking up, using your voice, using your platform, using your dollars, like whatever you have that you feel like could help people and yourself, and you don't do it. Tomorrow's never promised. Never promised. Today's not even guaranteed. Making it to the end of today is not guaranteed. So it's really important to use this life you've been given and really take it as far as you can go. Also, I can talk about why I moved to New York and who inspired me. And I can talk about the execs that I've met and didn't have success with. But yeah, it's been a very interesting experience. My life has not gone as planned, but when I knew exactly what I wanted, when I was focused and driven and was all in, I always got what I wanted for the most part. Even when I didn't get what I wanted, I got what I wanted. So don't give up. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. Don't give up. Times can be hard, but consider yourself tough. Consider yourself able to get through things. I used to pray for strength so much. I was like, I just need strength. I need the strength. I need strength. I need strength. And I feel like a lot of the experiences I've been involved in, a lot of the people I've met have tested me in order for me to develop that strength. So it's been a journey. Also, I can talk about losing my fire and like wanting it back, because that's really important. I don't envy people, I really don't. But that's not completely true, because the people I envy in this world are the people who wake up and they know exactly why they're on this planet. They know exactly what they're about. They know what they're fighting for. They know why they're breathing. And it's amazing when you're on that side and you are aligned with your mission, your values, etc. Like, you just know, like, this is who I am and this is what I'm about to do. I think a lot of us who are kind of in the middle, like, we could go either direction, we can't make a decision. It's tough, it's hard. But when you find that thing that makes you sing, that makes your heart sing, your life will never be the same. And I believe that. And I believe that's why I came to New York. I wanted to find what made my heart sing, and I didn't want to chase the money. I wanted the money to chase me, but I knew I would have to just take chances. And a lot of the chances that were presented to me, I said no to. A lot of the chances that I found, I wasn't the right fit. And the chances I said yes to took me places I didn't expect. And that's what life's about. Life's an adventure, and sometimes you get lost, and that's even a bigger adventure. I used to have a phrase with my friend that I met in college, and we were on a bus in LA, and I think we didn't get off at the right stop, and we were laughing, and we basically were like, our mindset was lost equals adventures. Just because you're lost doesn't mean that you're not moving forward, or you're not moving upwards. You can be lost and still find something. You can be lost and be found within. It's possible. I can also talk about confidence and how I make a conscious effort not to care. It's hard though, because I think we all care about what people think and what people expect. But when you can let that go and release it, it just feels so good. But it takes a conscious effort to sometimes to just say, you know what, not today. You know what, I don't want to subscribe to this. I don't want to follow this when I don't really believe it. This is, I'm not who I think I am, so I should probably do the work. And a lot of it is internal. Once you do the work on the inside and are good with yourself first, then everyone else will be good with you. A lot of people think they can throw money at a problem, or they think they can buy people for their friendship or a relationship or whatever. Like, people, that's why respect is so important. People respect those who respect themselves, right? People like those who like themselves. People love those who love themselves. So a lot of the work is internal. Like, don't wish for beauty, don't wish for fame. Wish to be your best self, because that's something you can do better than anyone. it's when you are wishing to be in someone else's shoes, like you are not appreciating who you are in the current moment. And sometimes the current moment is horrible, right? But we can actively work to change our environment. Kind of like planting a flower, you can change the soil sometimes. And I'm not talking about moving places, I'm talking about just like everyday things that you accept. And then you can actively work to find what fills you up and water that seed so it can grow, and that the fruit that is given, is good fruit. But yeah, I think I'm rambling right now, but basically I just wanted to share and talk intimately and openly about ideas that I could do on this channel. And I do all of this on my iPhone XR. Nobody's perfect, but everyone's perfectly imperfect. Okay, I'm hungry. I gotta go eat, but this was fun. Take care.